Welcome, everyone, to the Midnight Frogs podcast. Today we're discussing Jedders Abridged Episode 6 and letting you guys know exactly what's going to be happening next month. Joining me, as always, is Yoshi.
Hello, everyone.
And Travis.
Hi, welcome to the podcast.
So before that, some quick updates for the Straw Hat No. For those of you who don't know, we do have a Tumblr for the Straw Hat No. I post a lot of updates. We answer questions and whatnot there. The link is what you would expect. Also, Bomberman Megathread is dead. Leaving that there. Some of the Patreon milestones. Thanks to everyone's patronage, Yoshi will be getting a new capture card in March. He'll be getting the same capture card that I have. It's a pretty good model. And in April, Travis will be getting a new headset. And Travis, you have something specific in mind that you'll be using that for.
Well, now that I actually have a computer that can support better performance, probably out of all three of us, it's one of the best ones. I'm going to actually probably supporting more co-op based live streams. Specifically co-op as opposed to competitive, because I'd like to still emphasize more of the story based and everything. So if we used to have some patronage people or other people that might have PlayStation 3s or things like that and want to try some of the co-op games, I'm totally game for it and recording it. So should be a lot of fun. Just kind of see what happens down the line. Main reason I need a headset is because for me to do live streaming in that regard, I'm going to be using my nicer microphone, and I really don't want all of that to bleed in through the recording. Just for quality purposes, I really need one that was wireless. So thanks, guys. If your support will definitely go towards new material that weren't expecting exactly.
Yeah, thanks a bunch.
And in terms of what will go back to the patrons, aside from videos, we are coming up with ideas for patron rewards. So far, all that we have is, if you are a patron, and you don't need to have this reward selected, once I start streaming, you can come in as a guest commentator. Also, if you donate $5, you can get my album, because the album costs $5 anyway. If you donate 10, you get the album and an original piece of artwork from Olivia. We can only give that at the end of the month once the donations have gone through, though. And we are still coming up with other patron rewards, and we're definitely open to suggestions. Kazuki actually gave me an interesting idea. I sent it to Travis, and he was just kind of like, we didn't really decide on it. The idea of fan interviews, kind of like a Meet the Fans version of like Meet the Frogs, as I was doing in the Midnight Frogs. Kind of learn a bit about fans and why they would possess them to send this much money to some schmucks who play video games.
It's that question's like, oh, well, show's over.
But yeah, thanks to everyone who's pledged so far. Definitely got some interesting stuff heading your way. Next, Jedders Abridged Episode 6.
The insanity continues. How long has it been since we went from this last episode to this latest one? It's been a while.
Yeah, the last episode came out like in June.
So hey, at this cycle, we'll be on episode 10, and I'll probably be in my 30s.
I'll graduate college by the time it's over. No, not even.
It's quality over quantity, folks.
45 years old? Who's ready for Jedders 12?
Hey, you know what? There's plenty of shows, especially if it has anything to do with Japanese anime, that take forever to come out sometimes. Those who read Berserk know exactly what I'm talking about. And Hunter x Hunter, too.
First, the reason that we used Bomberman Jedders Episode 8 over Episode 7, what happens in Episode 7 is they go off on a picnic, and so do the Higgy Higgy Bandits, and they think the bandits are up to something, so they follow them around, and stupid shit happens. It's kind of funny on its own, but there's nothing we could really do with it if we were to abridge it.
The tough thing about this particular series is that there's actually legitimately funny parts. And this episode had some of those funny parts. It's just there wasn't really anything to do with it that was outside of what they already talked about. So we watched it and we gave it a shot to come up with material. And we're just like, let's move on. And this show is so segmented in its writing style. You know, episodes really have anything to do with each other that didn't really hurt anything or really change anything that much.
There were a couple of really funny parts in that, honestly.
There was. It's funny just to watch it as it is because it's so stupid.
I remember you laughing really hard. Like, there's this one point where they discovered these little mouse aliens. The first time they noticed it, a rice ball falls down this tunnel, and then they hear the mice go, "Yay!" So Shiro, inquisitive mind that he is, drops down another rice ball. He hears the "Yay!" and then he follows it with a bomb.
Well, his curiosity is like, how do I get through this hole? Just pulls out a bomb. And the funny thing is, I was making it as a joke, and then he actually did it in the real series.
But, yeah, we didn't go with that. But there was plenty to go with Episode 8, especially when Code pointed out An episode about love would work really nicely for a Valentine's Day release.
And the funny thing is, we kind of wrote it without realizing that, which just makes us kind of feel stupid.
Yeah.
Seemed like a good concept, because I think pretty much the episode had a big push for that, but it wasn't quite as metaphorical, necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
Ours wasn't exactly that metaphorical either. We lack subtlety as well, but in a completely different spectrum.
You had to force me to fall back the subtlety. It'll get there.
Oh, yeah, I had to stop you some points. I was like, all right, let's move on. That's enough ass for one day.
That was the first 2 minutes of the episode.
It's the entire episode.
Well, like, if you want kind of an idea of how the writing even formulates from that, is that sometimes we'll just find that one joke we say via watching it that just cracks us up. And then from there, we start actually writing out the concept of the story. And I think the first time that really kind of segmented what we're going to do is that scene where you see Twister's ass and just going, butt that ass. So from there, it just became part of the plot somehow.
Yeah. Every other line that I wrote, I would remember, butt that ass!
There's, yeah, the point for that, at least, honestly, it's tough to find and watch scenes like that with how much ridiculous it is and try to attach some kind of plot to it. And somehow we're just like, what would motivate Shiro here? What about a floating metaphysical ass? Okay.
Yeah, I'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
First, the comment. In the Japanese version, they call it Sibareru. The captioners wrote as Sabarel. We just put Sabaralu. But they have an interesting way of pronouncing it in the Japanese. Like, Shout always says, like, Sibareru! So we just had a lot of fun mocking that, kind of. So we got, like, Sabaga bullshit, Sabulbasaur.
Well, I just remember every time we'd read the script of the parts where I had Sabarlu in it, I had such a hard time remembering what it was called, so I was like,
Bag of bullshit.
Such a Sabarlu bag of bullshit. The fact, I'm glad we actually kind of kept the name as it was, just because the name sounded silly. I have no idea if it has any kind of meaning towards the episode whatsoever beyond being a wacky name, but Sabaga of bullshit's still kind of a fun line to say.
Yeah. Sabaga of bullshit. Next, Shout as a romantic. This was our intention for her character for back in, like, episode 2, like how every time she and Shiro did anything, she kind of assumed it was like a date. We hadn't really fleshed that out in a while, so this became a good point to bring that back.
Well, see, I remember we even talked about it on the episode 2 commentary, that our original idea was for that, but it's also just, it's just kind of an interesting concept for a character like that. Because it's opening up so you can really do whatever you want with it. And love scenarios are always kind of really fun to write, because they can get all kinds of weird and silly and strange, which it did.
Hence, the ass.
They really did focus a lot on that ass in the normal episode, too.
Yeah.
Nearly every shot of Twister was just a zoom in on his ass.
Like, that's fine on its own. Twist's joke is that they never see his face until, like, the season finales. But in this one, they really defined the crack. His pants are going right up there.
Ass-accenting pants is what he was wearing the whole time.
Yes.
Instead of talking so much about bulge, we just turned the body around.
Yeah. Shit, you're right.
But as I mentioned earlier, that I just feel like sometimes that just was fun motivation, and we just kept on coming with stupid jokes, like you saying "Jesus" ass and all that kind of thing. It was mainly because I was just thinking of the SFA thing with the Jesus, and then he just goes Jesus. Yeah, those were some of the jokes where we were talking about. Sometimes I'd just be like, "Okay, Thor, that's enough ass for the first 10 seconds."
Yeah, I remember because I was listening to the script writing sessions because they were really fun for this episode. We saw Shiro just kind of remembering Twister's butt. We kind of thought it'd be funny that he'd been kind of obsessed with Twister's ass. But then we remembered it seemed kind of like Twister was saying in Shiro's mind, "Remember my butt and respect it" or something. And then Travis comes in with Simba, and thus we have Mufasa ass.
The original idea is that
Mufasa.
Mufasa. For our idea we had for that is that we're originally going to just sing like a bullshit version of that song at the beginning of The Lion King. Just be like, Savannah, I got rice in my eye, and things like that. But we never got around to actually recording it, although it was a pretty funny idea. So he just ended up layering in the original episode. He was like, I don't think this will be as funny. As watching it, I was like, this is actually funnier.
Yeah.
Plus we got some amazing art from Olivia for the cloud ass.
She said she'd never spent so much time drawing an ass.
You did put a good amount of effort. It looked like an oil painting.
Yeah.
After you showed me a preview of the episode, I was gonna ask Olivia, like, did you have fun doing the ass? Because it looks pretty detailed.
The funny thing is, it perfectly blended into the starry background.
It did. It was the exact color.
We gave her no reference for that whatsoever.
Well, I did. I sent her a screenshot.
Oh, yeah.
But I actually sent her a screenshot from the wrong part of the episode, so that was lucky.
But that formulated just a character that the whole emphasis was that the character itself was supposed to be inside of Shiro's head and not real.
Yeah.
So hence him just saying a lot of things like it's a bag of bullshit. Because really the only one who mispronounces the name of the comet is him.
Yeah, the deal with it is like Shout has this. She respects her dad's ass because that's how he and her mom got together. But for Shiro, if you remember episode 5 at the end, Shiro kind of loses it when he realizes Max might be Mighty, and he has a terrible relationship with Mighty, so he's kind of losing his mind through all of this. And when it gets to this episode, if he's latched onto your ass, his mind's going to go in some interesting places. Hence Mufasa, or G's ass, however you want to think of him. And Shout is just more like they're both going on semi-spiritual journeys. Shiro's is a little more ridiculous, though.
It's also, and the more I thought about it, is more like I think Shout was kind of going for the idea, the basic concept of love, the more kind of naive idea of it. And Shiro was kind of going more for the lust side of it, the physicality. The more I thought about the episode, the more it kind of felt like different aspects of romanticism and love. So I feel like that was kind of him, where it's just like, I'm not going to think about it, I'm just thinking about ass.
But even then, it's still just the spiritual part, or so he thinks.
And just to kind of add something that isn't in our list here for the particular episode is our way of segueing Mujo into the involvement was very half-assed, intentionally. Our point for that was just like, okay, he's just the original episode was like, okay, he's trying to romantically get involved with this stupid alien bartender. Along with trying to get the ice rose for the father, but it's like, we're not going to spend like 5 minutes on this. Just narrow it down to a very odd conversation. And when Thorne asked me what ringtone that Mujo used, within about 5 seconds, I just said Big Balls from AC/DC.
Yep.
Just throwing all subtlety out the window.
Lava go.
But I always like that kind of joke, especially just kind of the comedy series, where it's just like, we got to get this character involved. Let's just not try. Yeah, love, we're going to do it. Bye. I'm going to go to this comet now.
Next, the kazoo comet music. The first part of that is actually from the episode, and we were watching that, and it was like, that is the lamest comet ever.
Yeah, as soon as they started playing that music, we had nothing to do with it. That was just what they showed at that part of the episode.
Like, I lined it up a little bit to fit with the video. But then we just thought it'd be funny if Palmy Dragon finished the kazoo himself, because I have a kazoo. You've all heard it.
My reaction to Palmy Dragon live was interesting.
Yeah, I remember. Palmy Dragon hopped up, and, like, immediately Travis was like, oh my god, Palmy Dragon!
Palmy Dragon's so fucking cute. I mean, it looks like I would have one as a pet, easily. Plus, they did have this cute voice actor for the Japanese and everything like that, and of course, with a character like that, kind of like with Romani and the Majora's Mask thing, there's got to be something fucked up about him.
It took us a second, but not too long, to come up with him just eating people. But still kind of sweet about it.
Yeah, well, because we still had to follow the rule that any character that they end up helping is something that's completely evil.
And he may have not even really be evil, he's just hungry.
And full of puns.
Then again, he did say he hates humanity.
Yep. I feed on the suffering of others.
And I love
it. Still, it's adorable. I don't care. Lily did a great time with the voice too.
Yeah. In fact, she's the first person outside of the main trio to voice act in Jetters.
Bam, we're leveling up our skills here.
Like we need to bring in other people. We're doing fine. I was glad to get her involved, though. I had wanted her to be a part of the series way back when I was trying to put it together.
I remember I did a voice for her originally. I'm just like, no, I wouldn't do this adorable creature justice.
Next, the alarm. Originally, it was just going to be some guy, but this weird thing with Birdie in this episode, he shows up for like a couple seconds somewhere. He doesn't actually say anything. He's just there. And then he's gone for the rest of the episode until the end in the newspaper. And then he's there again. So when we did the emergency code, I just decided might as well just be Birdie who's saying that. At least give him a line.
Yeah, and well, it started as I think also a lot of that just had to do with because I used my voice very kind of deadpan, saying it's not a very good idea, which sounds just like Birdie anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So when that point came up and I did that line, I kind of went, you know what, this is gonna kind of blend all together. So he just made it actually Birdie just saying this is not a very good idea. I really need to change up Birdie's voice a bit, but I kind of love where it is. So.
It's fine where it is. It doesn't work with a different voice, honestly.
That's just one of those stupid joke ideas I had for all the emergency codes. You heard the man.
Next, oh yeah, I've got me in a corner! That's a line from Bomberman Jetters the game. No, it's a line from Bomberman Generation, the GameCube game. Travis, Yoshi, and I did a Let's Play of it way back.
That's the one with stupid-ass airlines.
Yes. No, wait. No, that was... I think that was...
That was Generations.
Which game that is. Was it Jetters or Generation?
That was Generations, because they were on the ship, and they brought out that stupid icy monster. And it had that stupid Dr. Ein narration at the end of it.
No, it was Jetters, because he says that when you fight him, and you fight Mujo at the end of Jetters.
I thought Mujo in that episode was like, I got me in a corner, here's a stupid-ass crystal monster, ah! I might be mixing it up.
I don't know.
It all blends together, it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
Fuck Bomberman, by the way. I know I do a series on, but fuck that guy. Plus, it also just seemed like the puns that Pommy Dragon was saying was causing a contagious reaction with everyone. He's just stupid, adorable dragon.
I noticed that our writing seems very pun-based recently.
I think Ni no Kuni has ruined us all. But every time that happens, the character does kind of pay for it, so it evens out.
Yeah. It's a disease.
And we're gonna die from it. It's terminal.
Probably is. Just wait. Next, muscular figular.
That's a mistake you made while you were reading the line.
The line was supposed to be muscular figure, but my tongue kind of tripped up because muscular and figure move a little too similarly. So I just said muscular figular, and when we were rereading the script, Travis was like, just make that the line. It's funnier anyway.
And muscular figular is just fun to say. Plus that ridiculous... That last, like, couple of minutes was probably the funniest part to me of the episode. Just first of him having a Shiro imagining a Mujo normal one presenting flowers to a Mujo female.
Well, thank you, darling.
Them just having exact same voice, too, so no, I didn't bother with that. And also the idea to edit down just a way of Mujo leaving by just jumping down a cliff. And not being aware that that was a mistake until he hit the ground. And the way that was edited at the time, it did crack me up. And that was me watching the clip multiple times that cracked me up. This was a terrible decision. Also, we did have to bring back Mighty's crying. Not Mighty, Max is crying, yeah. I
had to blow my nose.
And they're just throwing that. You know what? That was the Max is what kind of tied the episode together, though. So he did kind of save it.
Yeah. Because
a lot of the silliness got to the point where it's like, where do we go with this? Oh, Max is in love with Shout. Oh yeah.
That was just a random idea you had, but it was perfect. That was the payoff that we really needed for this episode, I think.
Oh yeah. Does it fit also him just throwing the flower away? So it's just like, my heart's broken, forget it. I remember that's the one part Yoshi messaged about. I'm just like, that part didn't make me laugh.
Max was my favorite part of the whole episode. Because he's just holding the rose. Okay, I'm over it. Like, what the f***? I couldn't stop laughing.
But that's it for Jetter's Bridge 6. It was fun.
Oh, Maria! Okay.
Do we want to talk about Deep One and his relationship with Pommy Dragon?
He got swallowed by Pommy Dragon. So...
They're together because apparently he's into that.
When you started talking about the fact that he's even at the Deep One, I just started improvising, going, Ave Maria! So, because I knew it was going to be we decided to have a long part of the scene, because you can listen, you can hear him in the background. I just started improvising a line for like 3 minutes.
Yeah. Here's what you need to know about Travis. I have so many bloopers of just him, like just doing all of his characters, and they're all really funny. And I'm going to include everything he did for Deep One in that video when it finally goes up. I don't know when it's going to be, like when we get to 50 bloopers or something. But that whole thing made me cry laughing.
It's fun to improv characters like that. When I hear the thing where it's like, okay, just make shit up, I'm like, yeah, this will be fun.
And I'm just rubbing my hands together.
But that's the Valentine's episode in a nutshell. No one finds love except for the most ridiculous character of the bunch, the one that screams all the time. Oh, and the bear, I guess.
Did it though? The bear
Not
just kind
really.
of disappeared.
Bear just made out with everyone on the left.
You know he's not happy with his life.
No,
That means he's not a bear anymore. He's still a bear bomber, stuck on that planet.
I don't think he ever got destroyed in the episode, did he? I don't even remember.
No. Well, in the original episode, they defeat him.
Yeah.
And then his cubs laugh at him.
Yeah, it makes that much sense. I can't tell which dumb bomber I've liked the most thus far. I'm kind of... The bomb house is probably the one I like the most. or top bomber, I can't decide.
Even Top Bomber was annoying me after a minute.
Yeah. I think it's just because Bomber House only had 2 lines, and both of them were just like, stop it. That's enough.
That is a good question. Why are there bears on a comet? Why is Pommy Dragon on the comet?
Because it's a ridiculous cartoon. Why are there roses on a comet? Who knows?
I forget what do the Jetters do again? What's their job? They just help.
They exist literally just to fight off the Higgy Higgy bandits.
They stop the Higgy Higgy bandits from stealing valuable treasures, and that's all they do.
Okay.
Despite every mission they've gone on, it's never been there where they knew the Higgy Higgy bandits were going to be there. So that's kind of pointless.
Like, I remember watching this show forever ago, but I don't remember, like, why they do what they do or if they even matter.
They probably don't matter. Most likely they don't. Their team is so stupid.
Well, I need something to do, so...
Well, I like fighting evil. Okay.
Against the stupidest things in the world.
I like how, at least in this one, we segue some of the Bomberman things that happened in not only the show itself, but also in the ridiculous games we played thus far with, like, the Hyper Nervous.
If those games have taught me anything, is that anything Bomberman related as of right now is just super fucking lame.
It all is, and every villain sucks.
I'm sorry. I know it's been forever, but the evil fern is gonna kill you.
It seemed like you were just kind of murdering innocent things the entire time. And everything he fixes with bombs. Flip that switch with my hand. No, a bomb, stupid.
What about that one level? Okay, Bomberman, jump in the quicksand and appear on the other side. Are you insane?
I don't feel that's correct.
Do it. Okay.
Sometimes I forget those kids games, but there's kid games that can at least still build legitimate threat monsters, but
But not Bear Bomber.
not Bear Bomber. Maybe that caveman robot or that Mujo machine. And...
Maybe he'll be threatening to that one kid who's scared of flowers, but I don't know.
But yeah, Bomberman, ridiculous territory. Ridiculous territory. It's funny, the thing is, a lot of the Bomberman stuff is almost a joke within itself, and I don't know if they do it on purpose.
I don't know. Every game since the very first has just been the weirdest shit.
But they never seem to... I don't know if they take themselves seriously or not. It's hard to tell. Like, this is a legitimate platformer, guys. But we're going to hold your hand through this entire experience.
Also, you can't jump.
Also, you can't jump. Unless you hop on top of bombs.
And are holding a dragon.
Yep.
Why would that motivate you? Well, there's an explosive right there. I think I should try to jump over it.
So I don't die. We'll include Max in it for some reason, because people like him, they think he's cool. Who? I guess we'll include him.
You know, he's like the Zero of fucking Bomberman.
Yeah, because you know they're just as popular as one another. We'll pay the best voice actors to really try their best during these lines.
And then he won't get a decent actor until Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yeah. He never did. Like, now that I think about it, he never did.
He never had a good one.
Even like in the Nintendo 64 way, it's like, ah, I'm in a corner. Basically became Sonic with a gun. Which is Shadow, by the way.
Who are we talking about?
Jetters.
Now, at this point, we're talking about Mega
I
Man.
was just talking about, and then it went from Bomberman to you know how cool Max is. No, well, let's get back on topic.
If I talk like this, everyone will think I'm cool. I just don't care.
Well, I fucked up a little bit. Thanks for helping me, Max, by taking a hit of the fucking boss.
Fruit baskets. There's a banana in here and 3 apples. Ah, yum. I think someone. Funny, I saw some comments expecting it's like, oh, there has to be hyper something in there. Then we just managed to crowbar it at the very end. I get hyper nervous.
I gotta see that Let's Play again. It's so stupid.
Well, you kept on laughing just because of the way that Barman was running, where it was just like skipping. It's like, woo!
I was laughing at everything, Trav.
That's true.
All right, moving on to everything that'll be happening in March. So the next 2 episodes of SFA, SFA 20 has been fully written and fully voiced. I start editing that tomorrow. SFA 21 we need to get started on. I calculated I have exactly 4 weeks, 1 month total, to write, voice, and edit SFA 21, and that's on the off chance that we get an SFA panel at Anime Boston. But at least SFA 20 will definitely be ready to go. SFA 21, a little more up in the air. But what will be happening at AB 2014, I finally found out when I will know if we get a panel. I won't know until 2 weeks before the con.
That's bullshit.
That seems to cut it way too close. And I understand they do have a lot of planning going on, but if there's someone there, someone like us who does need to get the word out that will be there in order to get people there, that seems kind of counterproductive. But you guys will know first couple weeks of March if that'll be happening. If you are planning to go to Anime Boston, you'll probably just want to get everything together for that now and not make SFA the core reason to go, because even we won't know until it's too close.
Push comes to shove, you can always make it kind of a meetup situation. Go like, hey, if you want to meet us, guys, we're going to be here at the blah-blah-blah at this time of day. A meet and greet, what I know is not quite as good as a whole thing like that, but it'd still be kind of fun.
I still want to have a proper panel, though, like debut episodes, maybe introduce new people who are aware of Sergeant Frog, but not SFA to it.
Uh-huh.
It seemed like a fun place to meet up and talk about the series anyway.
We see the Funimation people there. Yeah, we're kind of stealing your footage.
You know, the footage you're not using anymore because nobody buys it.
And they're just like touche salesmen.
Then you had some. Well, Sergeant Frog, I was in that. Yeah, don't you remember? No.
Hi, Christopher Sabat. Who are you guys? Leave me alone.
Go away.
So the only definite guarantees of who will be going are myself, Olivia, and Jacob. Travis is still a maybe. How far along is that maybe?
I still got to figure out financial situations with the hotel. I'm going to have to potentially, the only way I might be able to go is if I can find someone to stay with or to room with, but I'm going to have to check here in the next couple weeks. Financially right now I'm really broke, so that's the first thing for my mind right now.
Right now, all I know is Jacob is still staying by himself right now. And he's kind of cutting it close with his spending money. Probably someone else helping out with the room expenses would probably work out for both of you.
Maybe. I'll let you guys know pretty soon. Financially right now I'm in no position to even buy food, so.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
That's the heads up for March. Whether SFA gets a panel or not, SFA 20 will happen on the Monday after that weekend. The Monday I get back, so you guys will be able to see that after it's gone up. And SFA 21 will go up in April. Hopefully SFA gets a panel, and hopefully we get to see some of you guys there.
I was thinking it's kind of amazing, even just in situations where I've talked to people who've been fans of stuff I've been in is always cool, but when you actually get to meet them, that's something else. I remember going to cons where I'd just be like, hi, I'm this person from the internet. They're like, yeah, we know. I'm like, wait, what? That's kind of terrifying. Remember having a lot of Anime Expo a couple years ago where I just kept walking up to people who were like, yeah, I know who you are. Wait, what? I don't have pictures
You
of me.
just walk away after you say it. Hey, I know you.
And it's me walking away, too, because I'm scared.
Yeah. The guy knows me. I don't know if I really...
How do you know by my face? Unless he just knows my voice. Oh. And then just freaking out a bunch of these DBZ fanboys because Takahata decided to run out of his booth, run over and give me like a giant glomp hug. I remember working with you before. It was just to get side slammed by someone. I didn't expect that. I was just like, hey, I'll shake your hand. Bam. I'm hoping I get a situation where I can figure out to go to Anime Boston. I might also be possibly maybe appearing at San Diego Comic-Con too. I had a friend give me a ticket.
Oh, well, look at you, Travis.
Still got to figure out financially how I'm going to even handle all this shit.
When is that one?
July.
Yeah, those are usually in the summer.
Different seasons and stuff. Financially, since I'm moving and everything, it's made it kind of difficult to plan all this shit, but I really want to. I definitely want to meet some more of the frog people. Yoshi, you need to go if I'm going. That's just the rule. Just rob somebody. You can get money for that.
To San Diego Comic-Con?
No. To Boston.
Oh. Well, I mean, if I rob somebody and I get money, I'm probably not going to go to Boston.
You'll probably go to jail. You may or may not see me there. I'm going to be working on the progress of getting money to where I can handle that, so I'm still on the fence right now. I know that's not really a good answer, but yeah.
And you'll see me maybe 2015.
2015!
And that's a hard maybe.
Oh, that is a good point, actually. Yeah, a lot of us are thinking about going in 2015. But still think about going this year, Travis.
Working on it. I get a bunch of people hiring me to do voiceovers here pretty soon, where it's just like, here's a ton of money. I'm like, yeah, I'll do it.
You're gonna have to be in like 40 million shows.
Paying 50 cents each. Still be a millionaire. Ah, yeah.
All right, that's everything on the schedule. If you guys have questions, go ahead and ask them.
It could be about the episode. It could be about us. It could be about whatever the fuck. Emma did ask a legitimately good question. How do you sit on an ass? Well, physically it is possible. First you get someone to lay on their stomach and then you just sit on their ass. Next.
That was good, Travis. I like that.
It was one of those jokes that was almost funnier. Well, it starts as one, and then when you reverse it, it becomes funnier. Because I was just like, I started with like, oh, how we like to sit on it. It's like, oh, how she liked to sit on it.
Is there a love triangle between the Bear Bomber, Max, and Shout? Not likely.
Bear Bomber is probably going to fall into obscurity somewhere.
Well, there goes my OTP.
It's an OTP for a reason, I guess. That photo would be awful, by the way.
Any games you're looking forward to this year? Smash Brothers 4.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one. I really am trying to look forward to get some of the next-gen console stuff, just because I had an opportunity to play all of them now, so I'm just like, oh, man. I love my PS3 and everything, but...
I'm still playing catch-up on the previous gen.
Yeah.
But
I still got plenty stuff to play on the PS3 right now. They're still coming out with a lot of new stuff in this latest... Or should I say this is the current generation cycle or the older?
Well, you could say current, you know, being Wii U and PS4 and Xbox.
Okay. So I'm still catching up with the last generation console stuff, because there's still games coming out for it, so... I got some time before I'm having to do that.
Yeah, me too.
Besides, I mean, we're still buying consoles for so long. I know not to buy consoles in their first cycle. You got to wait till they've got an established, not only established hardware distribution of it, but also they're released more content.
Yeah, but very rarely does a console have like a really good starting launch.
Well, Nintendo always seems to get that right, mainly just because it puts all its eggs in one basket, so to speak. They're just like, let's release a bunch of our original content right now. Then you gotta wait 2 years. Might release a bunch of content at once. Then wait 2 years.
I don't have a Wii U right now, but if Smash Bros. Does come out, I'll probably get it for the 3DS first and then the Wii U one.
That is one of our Patreon goals, getting you a Wii U so we can force you to Let's Play Pikmin 3.
Oh, I would love that. Is that all it takes for me to do stuff? Hey guys, let's raise money to force Yoshi to do things. He'll do them. It's not a bad idea. Let's do more. Hey, here's how you get me to Boston. Just force me to go.
It's the Yoshi horror campaign.
I support it.
I made it.
I made it.
I support the milk.
I support the...
We had too much fun with those characters.
I think my favorite thing out of the whole video, like after just the Romani Like, just Cremia. After that, she's just sitting in the wagon, and you're just like, she didn't drink the milk, god damn it. It's just like if it's like, it's just the goddamn it part that kills me.
Do you really like Kool-Aid milk?
Do you really like Kool-Aid milk? You haven't answered my question yet.
Our habits of creating original characters within games that have already established characters is always a lot of fun.
Heard of Karo Shogun? Yeah. Fan animation for Sergeant Frog, but knowing who the animator is, that's probably not going to get anywhere ever. It's probably over.
Wasn't that years ago, though?
Yeah, but like the thing is, like the dude's like a really good like he can mimic art styles. He's super good, but the problem is like a lot of like his most popular things are like pony animations, so he's doing that more, and he gets paid for it. So.
Oh wow.
So.
See, rips. That's kind of doesn't make any sense.
So,
Let's throw a material and get paid for it.
So yeah, you could kiss that goodbye, unless they get another animator. But I doubt they'll be as good as he was. But maybe, who knows?
I want to see is what's your thought on the Twitch plays Pokemon thing?
It was interesting for 5 whole minutes.
Yeah. I still think it's pretty amazing what they've done with it, but not likely I'm going to hang out and play that.
I think I think that's a cool idea, but it's just like with everybody going on at once, and you just stare at the screen and they don't get anywhere. It's just I gotta do other stuff, so bye. That's what it's like for me. I just can't watch.
That's just that boring shit that if you really want to, you have a lot of free time to sit around to do it. But I gotta work a lot, so I don't. So when I'm watching, I'm just like, look at that, and I leave.
Yeah, like that's what it's like for me too. I just pop in like every couple hours. Oh, they still here? Yep, leave. But like
Twitch plays Pokemon is a lot like Frozen to me because everyone talks about it. I don't have to see it. Someone's asking our opinion about the new Sonic cartoon they're releasing.
Surprisingly, not bad.
I think it looks cool.
Yeah, actually, it got a laugh out of me. I'm interested in seeing how it goes. The thing is, I'm actually more excited for the cartoon than the game.
Now, the people complain sometimes about the body designs, but it's like, look, it's a Sonic show where it doesn't necessarily bastardize the character. It makes makes Sonic Sonic.
Yeah.
Makes Sonic Sonic. But,
yeah, like
not Sonic. Sonic.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll never beat our Sonic, but
sadly.
The voice they chose for him was actually kind of interesting too, and I actually enjoyed that. It sounded more realistic than him talking like, "Hey, hey."
It's Roger Craig Smith.
Yeah.
He's really good. So.
He sounds like a real person versus every Sonic Adventure game where it's just like, "Hey, Eggman."
Oh no.
No.
No. I'm falling.
Wait a minute, I'm falling.
There they go again. Wait a minute, I'm falling.
God damn it, Thorn.
What?
Because you named my name something awful on the forums, people are thinking my username is Randall.
I didn't buy you that.
But there's a question there where it's just like, are you going to play this game, Yoshi, Thorn, and Randall? Son of a bitch.
It's just a name tag, right? Like, hey, I'm Travis.
I have to give a very shocked expression just like Santa Claus.
You said you were Travis. No, it's just Randall.
That was EPM who bought you that. That was not me.
Oh, really?
It's either EPM or Suspicious Dish.
Okay.
I kind of feel bad for my account because I didn't remember that I had one until like 2 years later.
Someone's asked how the book for the birdie jokes are going.
We actually haven't written a new birdie line in a long time.
Yeah.
There's still more than enough in there to fill out a book.
Plus some.
Plus some.
I really just want like it just to be like a 1 to 2 page like thing where it's just this big beautiful piece of art and just with small words on it the actual line.
Yeah. Like SFA, are you going to go to a climax with Jetters? Well, that depends on what happens in the episode. I know how the Bomberman Jetters series ends, and I know kind of like some of the big arcs, but it'll just depend on what episodes we end up using.
Also depends on how far we get in our motivations.
Yeah.
Because they're like 50 episodes long or something.
It's 52 or 54 episodes long. Thorn, when are you planning on doing more of the Ask Eurodora blogs? 2 months ago. What do you think of the PS4?
That's probably the console of my preference.
It's good.
It's good. I'm not really having a Sony's bandwagon because I was a Nintendo guy for the longest time, and then I went to an Xbox. Xbox burned the shit out of me. Xbox 360 did. The original Xbox was fine. But after I got my fifth Xbox 360, I was like, you know what? I think I'll just be happy with this PlayStation 3. I bought one, and I've had it ever since.
me, I've always grown up on Nintendo and Sony, so I've always loved both.
Plus, if you ever watch the kind of games I generally play, I'm not much of a online multiplayer gamer. My games I enjoy are more narrative. I enjoy games that have big stories, single player experiences. So those, with Sony that in mind, they put a lot more money in that kind of thing. Plus, I also am really enjoying the market of a lot of these indie games being released, while companies like Microsoft decide to drop the ball and just go, we'll just let users create whatever the hell they want and put it up, which has led to a lot of random bullshit games. Sony provides a pretty big funding service to indie developers, so they're not only is their content being made and shown on their sites, but also they're getting these bigger budgets, so they tend to basically do whatever they want with the series. They tend to be very beautiful, using nice graphics, but you can also tell that the budget and the small team was there, and they're really enjoyable experiences. I'm going to try to record as many of these indie games that I enjoyed myself as possible, because usually they're only about 2 to 5 hours long at most. So that is one of my aspirations with my recording software.
Yoshi, are you going to implement Bonbon and Ask Deep Dash?
I'm not entirely sure about that, because the thing with me when how I change the characters, I just kind of pick the ones that I feel like would be funny in some way, or I could just change entirely. And Bonbon's also kind of one of the background ones. Lyra was too, but Lyra was interesting enough for me. I don't really know, because I'm going to get another character in the next set, and I think after her I'm probably just not going to lay off on introducing new characters for a while and just play around with the ones I have. But I don't know, I'll just put her in the maybe pile. We'll see what happens. Because I just tend to, I always just tend to avoid what the fandom thinks, or what, these two are totally together. Well, not in my story, they're just whatever. I don't think they even know each other. Who knows, I don't know, I'll come up with something. Maybe.
What was the thing that came out of the G's ass? It did not come out of him, it was a quarter flung at him.
The same one that got lodged into the skull of the dragon.
The ultimate fate of the quarter.
Yep.
What games do you plan to Let's Play in the future?
I know I have some ideas of stuff to do. I've been really considering recording The Last of Us, because I can beat that game with my hand tied behind my back, so I'm really good at it. Plus, it's a game I really did enjoy. It follows my idea of the heavily narrated or narrative game style. So I think once I start completing more, whichever complete first, Sleeping Dogs or BioShock, I might roll into that one next.
I kind of want to get a hold of the capture card before I start deciding. I have a few ideas, but I don't know if I'll ever actually do them. Like, I thought of, like, maybe Star Fox Adventures, maybe. Just, like, games that haven't really been played all that much.
Are you talking about the dinosaur one?
Yeah.
That's awesome, because not many people like that game, and I did actually kind of like it.
I thought it was not bad.
Yeah, I actually
not
liked it.
Amazing. Like, it was, you could tell it was so, like, oh, wow, beta, but not bad.
It's Legend of Zelda with a fox with a staff, basically.
Yeah. Oh, I remember way back then, I remember Thorne said that he was going to do, at one point, 007 for the N64.
Oh, yeah, GoldenEye.
Yeah, you were going to do GoldenEye, and I was going to, like, offer to do the Wii version, because that one's, like, I think they're not even the same game.
Pretty much not.
But I'll be totally cool, like, to do the next James Bond game. Like, it probably won't be No Agent Under Fire, but still.
And what is?
Yeah, nothing in this
Nothing will
planet
ever be Agent Under Fire. So that's also another maybe. It depends on when I get the card, and if I'm not busy with college. Hell, after this podcast is over, I'm going to do homework, so...
Do you guys like doing live podcasts?
I suppose they're fun.
When I have interesting things to say, yeah.
Yeah. It's always fun, interesting to as I mentioned, I like interacting with the people that enjoy our stuff. Again, I always, as I said in the interview, I always kind of feel that separation because I got kind of invited in to it as opposed to being involved at the beginning. So a lot of times I'm like, yeah, enjoy their stuff. I just make jokes in the background.
Do you think abridgers can get into professional voice acting? Haven't some of them done that?
Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
there really isn't any kind of rule against it, really. I mean, there's anything where you actually use your voiceover is considered experience. And when I said at least my interview is that anytime we get some opportunities to use the experience that way, it helps. You can gain a lot of bad habits based on that, needless to say. But as long as you have the capability and talents, it doesn't really matter how you use your voice. It's still voice acting. So there are opportunities out there for that sort of thing.
Would you ever play a David Cage game for the hell of it? I would.
God, I've beaten 2 of them. I refuse to play the newest one he's made, mainly because he has a way of encouraging you to go through the games themselves, and then when you realize they're such sucky stories, and they have such terrible character and such a terrible writing and such incredibly ridiculous fan service, you're like, this is so dumb. This is ridiculous. I played all the way through Indigo Prophecy, and I did play all the way through Heavy Rain. So I've had my experience with them. The game screams Sundance Film Festival to me. A bunch of people who thinks what they're making is the second coming of Jesus, and then when you look back on it, you're like, this is actually rather bad. And that's David Cage in a nutshell.
I was gonna ask, I didn't know what that was until you said Heavy Rain.
Yeah, he those were his big games, or Indigo Prophecy, Heavy Rain, and that latest one, the one with Ellen Page and everything.
Well, I haven't heard of that one. But I know that this is like hilarious glitch and Heavy Rain.
Sean!
Sean!
When I mentioned I press A to Jason and the Twilight Princess Let's Play, it's because basically you just run around mashing this button and your character, who can barely speak English as it is, will go, Jason! 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 And they only recorded like 2 voices of him saying Jason. So as you mash it, you'd hear like, Jason! about 500 times. God, and he never hires good actors. Why? He has the ability. This last one was a big idea because he managed to get Ellen Page and Willem Dafoe in it. But then everyone else in the thing is just like, I could barely speak English. So yeah, play, guys, yeah. You guys can do Let's Play of it, because I would probably just be like, this sucks, this also sucks.
Well, it wouldn't really be a game now, would it? It would just be us watching a movie where we press buttons.
Basically. It's a game you can't lose.
If anything, it wouldn't even be a game, it would just be riffing. It wouldn't be a Let's Play, it'd be riffing.
Pretty much.
Just be, oh, I love this part. Sean!
This is where I just mash this button to do this thing it's asking me to do, and I win.
You can literally fuck up the whole game, and like
No,
you can lose, but
his big infamous line is game over screens are failure of the game design. A game will lead to a game over is something that all game designers have done wrong. So basically, if you play a game, you're not supposed to be able to lose at it ever.
Because God forbid you feel like you've accomplished something.
Yep. If you the latest game, because I watched the whole thing in a video format, is that you can't lose in his games. There's no detriment to it at all. There's no skill level because of that. You know, it's kind of cool that there's like, the activities that you do affects what happens in the game, but if there's no way to control that sort of thing at all via a couple maybe random button segments, how do you feel any sense of consequence to your actions? Oh, I made a mistake here. Oh, this is what led to it. Not a, oops, I get beat. On one of the games, like, you're getting a fight, and no matter, if you just let go of the controller and let the character just wail on you, you never die. And the game doesn't progress until you press the buttons it wants you to press. So basically it's hand-holding you the whole time.
You just watch a guy, like, just hit him with a pole for, like, an hour.
And when a game's so full, yeah, basically.
Why can't I die?
It'd be like, did you guys ever play Arkham City?
I haven't even played Asylum.
Well, Arkham City, there's this one point where, like, at the very beginning of the game, you get captured, and it gives you an option to press a button to keep Penguin from punching you in the face. If you don't press the button, Penguin just continually punches you in the face. You don't die, but he just continually punches you in the face. Now, this segment takes place over a span of about a minute. Imagine a game that's about 5 to 10 hours long that does this. That is David Cage in a nutshell. I'm finished enough about him, actually. Continue.
What do you think of Metal Gear Solid 5 and the new Solid Snake?
I think it looks cool. I mean, especially, I like the idea of the ginormous maps they have.
I haven't seen the trailer, so I don't know.
I think a lot of the random, like, the fact that they've made some characters are like, this character's made so people can cosplay in sexy costumes, as little, like, ugh. But of course, you know, the big thing is that Metal Gear Solid has never really been focused on its subtlety at all. So, as much realism and things go into it, there's a lot of campiness, and it's always been that. I've always enjoyed the campiness, so I'm willing to forgive it.
I'm looking forward to it. Partially for the new technology that's being used for it, kind of see how the gameplay has changed. Because it doesn't quite look the same as it has in most of the MGS games. And I don't care that David Hayter isn't doing Snake anymore. It's probably not going to be this big reveal that Hayter is secretly Solid Snake as a child or something. And it's probably just going to piss off a lot of people, but I really don't care. I just want the game to be good.
But let's be honest, David Hayter's voice is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That voice they have for Solid Snake is the most ridiculous thing ever.
I heard that when he auditioned for it, he did that voice as a joke, and the director was like, that was great, keep that, and that's why he does that voice.
It's one of the tricks for auditions. Do something that you think no one would expect, and sometimes will get you the role.
Yeah, Rob Paulson says have as many arrows as you can in your quiver.
Yep. It's just I apparently heard that voice. I mean, you could just tell by listening to it that it's very painful for him to do. So when he got to doing the fourth one, where he sounded even gravelier and coughing, apparently like almost killed his throat.
Do you feel like some of your own characters' personalities come from your own personality? Do definitely.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Well, I think especially for things like jetters and all that it does, because I mean, there's some segments of that you take away from that, but especially for your guys' writing, you tend to kind of make up your own shit, and any kind of writing you do, anything whatsoever in the form of writing or character development tends to come from somewhere in your own psyche because it comes from your own experiences. I can't write about a character that I don't understand myself, so I think, especially if you listen to a lot of characters that I tend to make up, they tend to be very, I wouldn't say they're the same, but they kind of have the same kind of thought process that I do.
So yeah, a lot of my characters tend to have like some of either my quirks or my thoughts or just something, just a part of me that you don't really see often, or just something that I would do, but I would never do, but my character would.
Well, it also tends to be your personality on crack, basically. It's never really going to be too realistic because there's so many segments to that. But when it's like, oh yeah, this is my asshole side, so I'm going to play it up a 10 billion times that factor, you can make a character with that.
Yeah.
What was your favorite Sergeant Frog episode to abridge?
Depends on what you mean by abridging. Because I did mainly voicing and sometimes writing.
Well, I have to remember the episodes because I haven't seen them in a while, so...
I think the one we used for episode 17.
I remember the radio one being funny.
That was pretty fun to work with.
Yeah.
I think 17 was fun to write, and 11 was fun to write.
What was the one when they were kids? Which one was that, 8?
That was 7.
That 7, yeah, that one was fun.
Episode 9 was probably the fastest script we ever had.
Yeah. It was probably one of the most ridiculous ones we worked too.
Since there are some Demon Souls vids on Straw Hat Know now, have you played Dark Souls, and are you looking forward to Dark Souls 2? I bought Dark Souls for Steam, and my computer hated me for it. But I'm going to kind of wait and see what the verdict on Dark Souls 2 is. I'm mostly just looking forward to actually playing Dark Souls right now. By the way, fuck New Game Plus and Demon Souls. Just wondering, as voice actors, who do you feel are your biggest influences currently?
I got a good couple. I'd say Rob Paulson, Tom Kenny, definitely. I've noticed that I prefer more of the Western animation voice actors other than anime. Like, yeah, anime is cool and all, but I feel like, there's just so many different animes that there's just so many different voice actors. Half the time I do know who they are, but me personally, I'd rather be more interested in like being in like actual cartoons instead of just anime. But Rob Paulson, Tom Kenny, Billy West, he's amazing. But those are probably one of my top 3.
I think Billy West would definitely be one of my major ones up there. He's always been someone that no matter really kind of where he went with his voice, his primary focus was on the character itself versus the voice. And it was one of the virtual ones I heard where I could tell the difference between that, where he could go, as zany as this voice comes off, it can come off very much an organic human being. I mean, take Fry, for example, from Futurama. Fry's got, although it's one of his more normal voices, it is still a rather ridiculous human voice. But you don't really lose the concept that he's a person.
Yeah, he actually said that, like, that was what he sounded like when he was 20, and he could just replicate it.
Just in the things he can do with his voice alone and all the sounds he can make and all that. And I always thought it was great. That plus also generally like him and a lot of people that work with him, they have a certain level of humility to them. That's always been great. Maurice LaMarche is another guy that's a lot like that.
That's fantastic.
He's a guy that actually I freaked out once because I got into an accidental conversation with him on Facebook. Mainly just because I thought he was in a role, and I'm like, "Were you in this role?" And I didn't think he was going to respond. I was like, "Actually, I wasn't in this role, but it sounds a lot like me." I was like, "Wait, you're talking back? That's shit."
He acknowledged me.
But if you listen to any of those voice actors, they're incredibly humble. I think, at least in this terms of some of the other people, I have a lot of respect for, and this going to some more of the anime video game guys. Stephen Bloom, Kyle Hebert, and Troy Baker are probably my top 3 guy ones that I'm just like, I respect them for not just their voiceover that they've done, but their ability to speak to the fans that they have and carry this level of humility. And they were never the type to really show off their talents. They had the talent and they found roles from it, but they never lost that concept and separation from people. And I think that's just amazing when someone with as much clout as they do and how much work they get can do that.
What do you think of Bravely Default?
Haven't played it yet, considered it.
Same.
I saw Pro Jared's review of it and got me a little interested. I'm not a big RPG guy, though. If I were to play it, it would depend on its differences from other turn-based RPGs.
I still need to figure out a way to record. I might require me to actually getting a new capture card to record off my Wii, so I can play that copy of Skies of Arcadia that guy sent me.
So Thorne, I think you'd like Tales of Symphonia. It's definitely a lot more actiony. You don't sit around. You just go.
I mean, it is story, so there's a lot of conversations.
And the story and the characters are pretty good, too.
And it's up to 4-player co-op.
Yeah. And they got actual voice actors. Good ones.
Borderlands 2 is a possibility at some point. It's just we need a strong enough computer to record the footage.
I'd be down for that. I finally finished the game. Then I started into the DLC, took a break from it because that became like my life for a while. And I'm addicted to The Walking Dead, and thankfully that's not going to take too much of my time because I only have 10 episodes left to watch.
Would you ever do a Jedders Abridged episode based off the Hickey Hickey episode? If it's an episode that our current placement hasn't gotten to yet, maybe. We'd have to watch it first, and we have to actually get there in the episode listing. Who did you get to play the Shirara Corps? It's not really. I don't think it's a spoiler to say who the current cast is. The only ones that show up in the next episode are Putata Mekeke and briefly Dokuku and Nui, but you already know who that is. That one's Tempe. I'm doing Putata. Vorhias is doing Mekeke. You guys already knew that from episode 19. And we got Shazmybot from Gutted Ren Studios to do Dokuku. The other core men haven't been casted yet. We're going to worry about that for when their episodes come. Wasn't the Shirara Corps originally a fan contest? Yes, all of them are fan art bullshit.
That's why they all look like bullshit.
Well,
yeah.
It is the Keroro anime.
Mekeke and Dokuku look kind of cool, honestly.
Yeah.
The rest of them are crap.
Oh, and as for Little Mac in Smash Bros. 4, about fucking time.
Yeah, I was hoping for that one because he was an assist trophy in.
Yeah, and have you seen the comparison picture? He looks like complete shit in Brawl.
Oh yeah, he does.
Like they spent 2 seconds on him.
Plus, I get to live out my Hajime no Ippo dreams and just imagine Ippo punching all the characters in Nintendo.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Ippo, bro!
Like, he's probably gonna be one of my most played characters because he was like the only character I really wanted in.
Well, yeah, I remember as soon as I heard about that, I was happy. I had a friend kind of freaking out, oh, they're not going to put Daisy in. I'm like, shut up.
Daisy?
Daisy's just in sports games.
Peach has a freaking Daisy costume. That's all she needs.
Well, because basically Daisy's just a clone for things like party games and sports games.
Yeah.
She's not a real character.
Well, Luigi has a better fucking shot. He was an assist trophy.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, and Rosalina's just, well, she has an actual character and a backstory. Which is weird for Mario, but still.
Plus, I think she'd play just a little bit different than some of the other princesses, just because it's more like cosmic powers and gravity and shit.
And she's like a god, sort of, so I'm glad she's in.
I like all the characters thus far. I think they'll all be unique.
I like how some people were complaining. They're like, well, but Little Mac's a boxer. He doesn't fit. We have a guy who's famous for jumping, and he's throwing fireballs and punching and kicking Pikachu.
We had Rob the Robot, which was a disc changer.
We have Mr. fucking Game & Watch.
So shut up and just enjoy the game.
Don't take this away from me. As for Roy, as much as I would love for him to come back, he's not coming back.
I can see them putting the new guy.
Yeah, they'll put the new guy. Like, yeah, probably the new guy. Lucario's back. So
you know what, I'd like to either see the new guy or his daughter, because his daughter might be like Lucina, is a little bit quicker, and either one of them would be cool. I really did dig the new Fire Emblem, but I've always been super into Fire Emblem. That's another game I wouldn't mind getting for the Wii if it wasn't so damn expensive.
I didn't think Sonic would come back because I don't know how like Sega works, so I thought it'd be like a one-time thing. But he's back.
Unless you could have Sonic fighting Mario fighting Mega Man.
Yeah, that's amazing. Also, Mega Man was like an idea at one point, and I'm glad that he was like one of the very first ones they introduced. It's kind of funny though, because Nintendo they had like a little
yeah, that's right, Crom.
They had like a video for like Brawl a long time ago. They were like, this is a fighting game, you will never see these two, and then it showed like a little screenshot of Nintendo to Animal Crossing, and they ended up in the games anyway.
Do you think they're gonna include Olimar in it again? Well, because
Olimar's he's already been announced back.
Okay, that's cool.
If you go on the Smash Bros website, it shows you like every character who's on right now.
Okay.
DDD's back, Lucario's back.
I was good with DDD.
Olimar's back.
I honestly think Bomberman would be a hilarious addition if all of his attacks just dropped bombs. You take a step forward and he drops a bomb. You charge up a smash and he drops a bomb.
That's how he grabs ledges with a bomb. His throw as he grabs you just shoves you a little bit more and throws a bomb in your face.
And it doesn't blow up though. You have to wait. You just gotta. Okay, Bomberman, thanks.
You basically would do what kind of Samus would do if you just spammed her little roll bomb thing.
It's kind of like what they did with Brawl, where they announced every character, and then after the game was released, they put the character pages for everyone else, but they had like a little question mark, and they had like a little warning when you clicked on it, like, hey, this is gonna spoil the secret character if you haven't played the game.
You know what character I'm waiting to see, and I already know what kind of poster to use for him? Groose is on the loose.
I wouldn't count him out, but he'll probably be like a background stage guy or something.
Which sucks.
What if... Okay, this might be a little stupid, but what if they put fucking Fee in instead of...
I'd be angry. That's different. Because no one liked her at all. What would she do? Just dance?
If Link is selected, she just hovers next to him. You should probably cut him now. You have a 100% chance of...
You have a 100% chance of being knocked off the stage.
Why'd you die?
I mean, the fact they're getting all these random licenses just means really anyone could be in it.
Well, they're all Nintendo properties, though. Except
not
Mega Man and Sega. Mega Man and Sonic. That's about it. Everything else has been like at least affiliated with Nintendo in some way, or it was like a first-party thing.
I wonder if they're going to put any more kind of Pokemon-esque things into it. I don't know, because I don't think they've announced the trainer yet, so...
No, but they did, like, one of the new items was like a fairy in a bottle from Zelda, and I thought that's actually pretty cool. I don't know if that's going to be like a replacement for the heart.
It's supposed to full heal you.
Yeah, it says that'd be pretty cool, actually. I like that they're doing that sort of thing. Making it more Nintendo-y with every game.
They actually have an assist trophy of Skull Kid, which would have been a cool character to actually play as.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. I'm thinking if he's like an assist trophy, then probably the final boss from Skyward Sword is going to be a playable character. Like or Ganondorf for the again,
Well, I feel like they tend to crowbar characters from like their last generation console cycle or their current, and they really don't have anything from that.
You know who would be a pretty cool character? Travis Touchdown.
Oh, that'd be interesting actually. He's only been in I guess they did some ports to the Sony systems, but he came originally from Nintendo.
Yeah. The rule is if they appear on a Nintendo console, then they're good. That's how Snake got in. Snake's probably not going to come back though.
I think what they never really fit into, because it's generally they put like a hero character and a villain character from each series. They haven't really put a villain character in Pokemon lately, so they put like Lysander from X and Y. Or in his final form when he had like that whole like robot fly things on his back and him like throwing
but he's
Pokemon
still a trainer. Like I know Pokemon.
Well, so is Pokemon.
What's he gonna do? Throw Pokemon? Like he'll just be like Pokemon trainer. Like, he could be like a skin or something. Like, oh, fuck, you want to be Pokemon trainer or obvious bad guy?
Wii Fit Trainer, yeah, I like Wii Fit Trainer. I like it because it's weird, and that's what I like about it.
I like how the reason why he put him in is because like this character got 0 requests, so that's why I put her in Super Shen. Like that guy's fucking great. He literally outright said that. Like
That's great.
Nobody
wanted this, so we're doing
off
it.
the microphone, and he really said, speaking in Japanese, of course, he's like he had like a translator guide. He's like, we actually got 0 requests for this character, which is why I put the character in there. Oh,
Thank you, Sakurai.
And before anybody like gets angry about it, he did say tripping's not coming back, so that's fine.
Thank you.
That was kind of stupid.
But he also said that he was gonna try to like mix like the casual playing style with competitive. So I'm really interested in seeing how that's gonna work. I don't know if there's gonna be like a melee mode or a brawl mode or something, but
maybe there's just like different controller schemes you could turn on where one will be more competitive, one will be more basic.
Yeah. I'm really excited because like Super Smash Bros is like my favorite like video game franchise ever. The Villager, cool. Honestly, I didn't expect to see him, but if you can come up with a moveset, go crazy, I guess.
I can imagine one of them is like he digs a hole and he get trapped in it.
I saw a screenshot where he's riding on like a gyroid, like a rocket. And that never happens in the game, so I'm curious to see why they went with that.
You know, going back to Groose, if he's not a playable character, he would be a pretty badass assist trophy if he just comes in with a Groosinator and this big bomb just comes in and blows everyone off the stage.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I say either that, and my idea from the Let's Play is the one where if you start flying off the stage, the Groose jumps off of his old bird and grabs you and pulls you down the stage.
In the Skyward Sword stage.
Yep.
You're just trying to recover. No!
I should be able to make this list. Oh, goddamn!
And you never know when it's coming.
Yep.
So sometimes you're kind of like worried back, like, do I come back? I'm not going to use my third jump, and then he doesn't show up. They also had like a screenshot because every day there's like a new update to doing it, just like how they did with Brawl. They showed like a screenshot of like Link apparently like he grabbed the ledge right before Mario did or something. But according to like what Sakurai put in the comment, he said like Link just totally intercepted Mario's grab, which kind of implied that Mario was on the ledge already. So I don't know if there's like some kind of new mechanic that like prevents edge hogging. So I'm really curious to see how that works. And I like how like one of the items is like the beetle from Skyward Sword where it grabs a player off the stage.
So see, to prevent the ledge hogging is just going to change the
it's gonna
dynamic, because that's like how a lot of people actually play it, which I'm like, that was such bullshit.
I don't know, I'm really curious to see that.
You know who should be playable? Tails.
Yes! Yeah! No. I like how one of like there was like a they had like a Miiverse thing on Wii, on the Wii U, and like after Mac was announced, we were like, yay, little Mac, and there was some people like, why not Shadow? Sonic, like, well, you already have Sonic, and he was an assist trophy in Brawl, and if they were to put him in, it would just be kind of a waste.
Well, it'd be a character clone, pretty much.
Like, I wouldn't say character clone because he has his own things, but he's still like.
Well, you know, he'd be the Falco to Fox.
Yeah, I guess, but
Or he'd be a little different, but he'd be the same.
Still, it's Shadow. Like, you don't need more than one.
If I play as Sonic, I'll just end up just yelling all the time, Sonic! Whenever I just knock someone off the stage.
It's just Sonic, and then you fall off the stage on purpose. Just run around the stage like a dick.
Yep.
Like, he's not playing, just ignore him. No!
Everybody gets knocked up, like they changed it, because you know when he gets knocked off stage, now it's like, whoa! Just when he falls off stage, ah!
When he explodes, when he falls off the stage, ah! And when he's flying in the background, oh no, I seem to be spinning really quickly, ding.
Even before he's like, oh no, it appears that spinning break me.
He doesn't even finish the sentence.
Wait a minute, I'm falling upwards.
Yeah. Like he says something different every time he's spinning in the background, but he never finishes it.
There goes one of my
I wonder where the Chaos Emeralds.
Well, see, I could see instead of having like Shadow, how about like Knuckles in there or something? Knuckles would play different, and he's a Sonic character.
The new version.
Yeah, the just big fat one.
Just punches you straight into the ground. What happened? Am I dead?
Was every time he falls off stage? Oh no.
Oh no. When he blows up, oh no.
Tell me you wouldn't play the game with those characters if they actually did.
I don't know. I think I might have a new favorite character. He's my main. Sonic. I just go to tournaments as Sonic, but I just troll everybody like I'm not even playing for real.
Yeah. Just rename him Sonic.
Everybody's like, they have coaches and they've been training for months for this, and I'm just like, whoa, looks like I'm running. You like that?
You're just saying that while you're playing the
I
game.
know. I'm talking right next to that.
Get ready for Sonic. Here he comes. I'm gonna be ducking right now. What did I tell you?
What's back at you? Punch. I punch you.
You never use any of the special moves. Just bop him with your fist every now and then. You want bop. By the way, if I get record, bop.
Just 0 damage.
Every 30 seconds, like I'll have a watch and check. Bop.
You know what they could totally put in Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil now that you mentioned it.
Well, seeing how they already have a Capcom representative, I don't know if like they'll allow more than one special guest.
Yeah.
That would be neat because, like, personally, I if they allow another guest thing for Capcom, I wouldn't mind Zero because I just think Zero's fucking cool for Mega Man X.
Or Bass or Bass.
Or the Zero from Mega Man Zero. I really like that one because he has his own arsenal of like saber weapons. It's not
no matter how Bass you look, Sonic runs up, bop, and runs away. God damn, he's too fast. And then if you start really punching fast, it starts catching. It's like bop, 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 bop.
You know, when they start hacking Super Smash Bros. The new one, we should just do that. We should just like record dialogue and then like hack it into the game so that way he actually says the stupid shit we made.
You hit him with some move that causes him to get pinned down. Whoa, this won't stop me.
Ow.
Now I just expect to see someone make you know how people can go in there and make mods. Just make a Sonic mod.
I can't stop thinking about it. It's so stupid, but it's beautiful.
Oh god, I'm falling off the end of the set.
Like when he's coming back to life, he's just you hear the rest of it, but it's like not even part of the old sentence. Oh no, I seem to be my father. Like, what?
As he's spawning again after that.
Yeah.
It appears that I'm ing.
Falls again.
Yep.
He's falling, and once he's off screen, he comes back up to finish the line, and then falls again.
Yep.
Bagels! It's Knuckles, Sonic. Bagels!
Yum!
Like I just can't get over his one inflection that he only has.
Still more lively than Jason Griffith.
That's the sad part. It's true.
Good touch.
Good touch.
Like when he hits him, good touch. Then kicks him back.
Do I want to punch him anymore? He just said something to me.
Or if he punches you, he goes, ow!
Punch. Oh, you got me.
He's like Pichu. His damage actually goes up a little every time.
His knuckles are tender.
Well, have you seen his arms and legs? They're so skinny.
Way Shen for Brawl. I'm calling for it.
Yes, please. if they could have guests like characters, can't they just have like completely not even close to our console characters?
You think he's gonna fall off the stage, but he just flies back onto it?
But he's like waving his arms around like he's chasing like when he jumped on the car as he flies back up. And they're just looking at him.
That's his side A smash. He just jumps at you.
it auto targets. You can't get out of
run
the
away.
way.
He's like going up the stage. The only way you can get away from him is if you fly off the stage. He goes with you.
Because it's auto locking, you're just running away and jumping, so he's just following. He's just a flying guy just next to you, still waving his arms around. And you're just like, oh god, get him away from me! Get him
Cop.
away from me. Cop.
Every time he falls, there's cop.
Every time he flies at you, cop.
When he wins, when he does like his winning animation, just a reminder, I'm a cop.
You just really need. If you haven't seen that Let's Play, you need to go see it.
Please watch Sleeping Dogs. It is so good. This final smash, I think it's time for a date.
He drives his car.
He tries to take pictures of you and slams at you.
You just instantly die.
Yep.
Is that going to be the title for this episode? Wei Shen for Smash Bros. 4?
I like that. Oh god. No one could stop Wei Shen. That's what I keep saying.
Not even reality. His own world.
He did run through bullets. I mean, he's...
Oh, which reminds me, we have 2 new episodes of Sleeping Dogs to record. You guys want to do that after the podcast?
I'd be cool with it.
Yeah.
And I purposefully not watched the episodes because I wanted to be surprised.
Yeah, we never watched any of them.
Well, I did for Sleeping Dogs because it was always fun, but commentating them has made me decide to not do that anymore.
Usually something ridiculous happens, and it's one of those things that I have no control over. It's just the game. It's just a fucking game.
You help it. You help move it along to that, but...
Yeah, I don't discourage it at all.
I just love that moment in the montage where you're just getting punched. It's just, ow. Ow. You're just standing
Fuck pigs.
there.
Ow.
Fuck pigs. And then next, ow, ow.
Will look like a cab driver to you? Shit!
And then I'm teleporting out of the back
He
of my...
just flies out of the car. Like, what the fuck? What was that? Honestly, I'm curious. Was that a glitch or?
Yeah, I think it was a glitch.
Or was the game reacting like, oh shit, you have a guy in the back of your taxi? You're not supposed to have that when cops are following you.
Well, I think they're supposed to get out of the car if I stop, but I didn't, so they just flew out.
Just abort mission. Beep.
Or it's like when I love how in the cinematic my car is just smashed in the side.
Yeah,
still.
I didn't know they did that.
That was the best part. It looked like it was part of the cutscene. They put a lot of attention to detail in the stupidest places.
Just imagine him crashing it into the sign, walking up to his date casually, ladies.
I kind of wish it showed up like in the chicken truck, like, look, hey, you want to...
Crashed into the fountain.
Right, crashed into the...
The chicken feathers flying all over the place.
Do you like my ride?
I just want to say, I have an idea.
Dude, the next time you go on a date, you need to go there in a chicken van and crash it next to her.
There are more date missions, so I just might.
Oh boy.
We gotta date Tiffany.
Yeah.
And not Ping.
Oh my god.
Alright.
Whew. Wei Shen for Smash Bros. 4.
I'm totally for that. I just want to send a message to Sakurai. I'm like, look.
You know who you need?
I know this game was never on Nintendo system, but...
I know not a lot of people bought it, but that's where you come in.
Let me show you my videos and you'll be convinced.
He sees the date, gets on the phone, get me Miyamoto, we have to fucking...
Stop all production, we gotta fit this in.
That Zelda Wii U stuff you're doing? Hold off on it. We gotta bring Wei Shen to Brawl. Smash Bros. 4.
What would the poster say when they show the characters? You know, that whole thing where it's just like, you know, Bruce is on the loose kind of thing like that. Wouldn't be Wei Shen's poster.
Cop.
Just Wei Shen, cop.
Cop. Just cop.
Yep.
Like for Little Mac, it was like, Little Mac punches in. Rosalina and Luma launch into battle.
Wei Shen, cop.
Cop.
Not even Wei Shen cop, just cop.
Doesn't even bother to put his name on. Cop. Yeah.
And his video is just, it starts with like Kirby and Mario like punching it out, and then a car hits them both, and then like 2 seconds later you just see a body fly out of the windshield and roll out, and it's just Wei Shin with his thumbs up, and then it's just Wei Shin.
Yeah, Wei Shin.
Oh man. Anyone who's never seen this has no idea what we're talking about.
Watch Sleeping Dogs on the Straw Hat. No, god damn it.
Please do it for me.
Uh,
Oh my god.
Also, donate to the Straw Hat No, and you'll get stuff. Because we'll get stuff from it.
God, if we have enough funding, you know what would be a good idea for a funding thing? We make a Wei Shin shirt.
Oh.
Our Wei Shin shirt, though.
Yeah, we'll have to change him up a little.
Yeah, just a. But we don't even see. But we see nothing about Sleeping Dogs on them. We just kind of have that picture of the character lighting someone on fire, just says "cop" on it.
With another guy just standing next to him, arms on his hips.
Yep.
You have no idea how I would love shirts for Stride.
Olivia reminds me. I think if the character is a piece of fan art, you can make a shirt of it.
If we don't put like the actual character's image on it, like just do something kind of blank, then we can copyright it ourselves, and we don't even think
Exactly.
about
We could just put like the phrase, whatever works. I think we need a Mikau shirt.
that.
With the little quote on the bottom, I think it's time for a song.
I'm dying. It's time for a song.
Or a Spiders and Seagulls band shirt.
Yes.
that one would probably be like more possible. You can't, like, nobody has copyrights on a spider.
Plus, people ask about the bands, like, you probably haven't heard of them.
Just go to like a local coffee shop.
Yeah.
Spiders and Seagulls, whatever.
I got the new LP. It's pretty great.
That really works though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just saw the new LP of Spiders and Seagulls
Exactly.
in concert live.
See, when you say a Spiders and Seagulls shirt, I just imagine seagulls flying with spiders piloting them.
Little spiders on top of seagulls with little pilot hats on them.
World War II hats and goggles.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, thank God, if you ask why we like these live podcasts, is because it helps us come up with ideas of our own.
You can see how we work live.
Pretty much. So, yeah, this is... Is the podcast over? I'm not even sure anymore.
Are we ready to end it? We can end it. We kind of blew our load on Wei Shen for Smash Bros.
Yeah, pretty much.
The greatest decision ever, Sakurai. You can make magic happen twice.
No one will understand it, but we'd be high-fiving. Why did you do this, Sakurai? Because no one asked for him to be in this game. Well,
Exactly! He did it for Wii Fit right here.
yeah.
Well, this character's not even in our fucking console.
So I made it happen.
Well, nobody asked for Pink Floyd in this game.
But surprise!
Can that be a shirt, Wei Shen for Smash Bros?
Oh, I love that.
It's just like him standing triumphantly with like the Smash logo and then cop on top of it. Well, maybe not the Smash logo, because then they'll be like, hey, you can't do that shirt.
But, alright guys, we're going to call it here. Thanks everyone for listening.
Baby!
Thanks for coming.
Wei Shen for Smash Bros. 4.
Wei Shen for Smash Bros.
Wait for Smash Bros.